Hidden in the barren desert of southern Peru lies one of archaeology's most baffling mysteries. Massive drawings etched into the earth, so enormous they can only be fully seen from the sky. Created over 1,500 years before the first airplane ever took flight. Welcome to the story of the Nazca Lines, ancient geoglyphs that have puzzled scientists, captivated explorers, and sparked countless theories about their purpose. For centuries, the Nazca Lines remained virtually invisible to the world. Local people walked across them without realizing what lay beneath their feet. That's because these massive designs are nearly impossible to recognize from ground level. It wasn't until 1927 that Peruvian archaeologist Toribio Mejia Quesespe stumbled upon them while hiking through the foothills of the region. But he couldn't grasp their full magnitude. The real breakthrough came in the 1930s, when commercial airlines began flying routes over Peru. Pilots noticed strange patterns in the desert below, geometric shapes, and what appeared to be massive drawings of animals stretching across the landscape. One pilot in particular, Paul Kosak, became obsessed. In 1941, he flew over the lines and dedicated years to studying them. He called them the largest astronomy book in the world. But it was a German mathematician named Maria Reich who would dedicate her entire life to protecting and understanding these mysterious lines, spending nearly 50 years studying them until her death in 1998. So what exactly are the Nazca Lines? Spread across approximately 170 square miles of the Nazca Desert, there are over 300 geometric designs and more than 70 animal and plant figures. These aren't small scratches in the dirt. We're talking about massive geoglyphs, some stretching over 1,200 feet long. The designs include a spider measuring 150 feet across, a hummingbird nearly 300 feet long, a monkey, a killer whale, a pelican, and even what appears to be an astronaut figure, which has fueled countless alien theories. But here's what makes them truly remarkable. They were created by removing the reddish pebbles covering the desert floor to reveal the lighter colored ground beneath. No paint, no construction, just careful removal of stones to create lines about 4 to 6 inches deep. The climate of the Nazca Desert has been crucial to their survival. This is one of the driest places on Earth, receiving less than an inch of rain per year. The stable temperature and minimal wind have preserved these lines for over 2,000 years, making them a time capsule from the ancient Nazca civilization. The Nazca Lines were created by the Nazca culture, which flourished in the region between 200 BCE and 600 CE. But here's the mind-blowing part. They had no written language, no iron tools, and certainly no aerial view of their work. So how did they create these massive, perfectly proportioned designs without being able to see them from above? Researchers have discovered that the Nazca people used surprisingly simple technology. They created small-scale models on the ground, then used a coordinate system of stakes and ropes to scale up the designs with incredible precision. Archaeological evidence shows they worked in teams, carefully removing stones along planned lines. Some lines are perfectly straight for miles. To achieve this without modern surveying equipment, they likely used wooden stakes placed at intervals, creating sight lines across the desert. The mathematics involved is surprisingly sophisticated, requiring an understanding of geometry that rivals many ancient civilizations. What's even more incredible, many of these geoglyphs were created in just a few days by coordinated groups of workers. Experimental archaeology has shown that a team of 15 people could create one of the smaller animal figures in about 48 hours. This is where things get really interesting. Why would an ancient civilization invest so much effort into creating massive artworks they could never fully see? Over the decades, theories have ranged from the plausible to the absolutely wild. The alien theory became popular in the 1960s, when author Eric von Daniken suggested they were landing strips for extraterrestrial spacecraft. While this makes for exciting speculation, there's zero scientific evidence to support it. More credible theories suggest the lines had religious or astronomical significance. Paul Kosak's astronomy theory proposed that the lines aligned with celestial events like solstices. While some lines do align with celestial events, most don't follow any particular astronomical pattern. The most widely accepted theory today involves water and ritual. Remember, this is one of the driest places on Earth. Water was literally life and death for the Nazca people. Research suggests the lines may have been sacred pathways used in religious ceremonies to petition the gods for rain and fertile crops. Recent studies have found that many lines lead to ancient ceremonial centers and water sources. The act of creating and walking these lines may have been a form of prayer, a massive communal ritual connecting the earth to the sky, humans to their deities. Today, the Nazca Lines face threats the ancient creators never imagined. In 2014, Greenpeace activists damaged the area around the hummingbird geoglyph during a publicity stunt, leaving footprints in the protected zone. In 2018, a truck driver ignored warning signs and drove across the lines, creating permanent damage to several figures. Climate change poses another risk. While the desert has remained stable for millennia, changing weather patterns could bring increased rainfall or wind that might erode these ancient masterpieces. Tourism is both a blessing and a curse. While it brings awareness and funding for preservation, it also brings risk. Fortunately, viewing towers have been constructed, and aerial tours allow people to experience the lines without touching the fragile desert surface. UNESCO designated the Nazca Lines as a World Heritage Site in 1994, providing international protection and resources for conservation. Peruvian authorities have increased surveillance, using drones and satellite imagery to monitor the area 24/7. The Nazca Lines remain one of humanity's most fascinating mysteries, created by an ancient civilization without modern technology. These massive geoglyphs have survived for over 2 millennia in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Whether they were pathways to the gods, astronomical calendars, or something we haven't yet imagined, they represent human ingenuity, devotion, and the desire to create something that transcends individual lifetimes. The Nazca people may be gone, but their lines endure, scratched into the desert floor, a message from the ancient past that we're still trying to fully understand. What do you think? Were they religious pathways, astronomical markers, or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into ancient mysteries, make sure to subscribe for more fascinating stories from history's most puzzling places.